Hello and welcome to Packet Tracer Activity 6224. Today we're going to look at configuring IPv4 static and default routes. So the first thing I'm going to do here today is pop over to my instruction sheet. And as you can see, the first thing it asks us is, looking at the topology diagram, how many networks are there in total? And we know that there are 5 networks. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. R1, how many networks are directly connected to R1, R2, and R3? R1 has 2, so router 1 is connected here and here. Router 2 has 3 because it's connected here, here, and here. And router 3 has 2 because it's connected here and here. Test connectivity to R2 and R3 LANs by pinging PC2 and PC3 from PC1. So let's see here. There you go. IP configuration. Here's my IP address. There's PC3, right? PC1. We're going to say we want to ping. And we're going to paste that in. Destination host unreachable. And we're going to do the same thing on this thing. So, oops. So PC2 here. We're going to ping PC2 from PC1. Both are unreachable. They're unsuccessful because none of our routes have been set up yet. So, okay, configure static and default routes. First, we're going to configure recursive static routes on router 1. A recursive static route is next hop route. A recursive static route relies on the next hop router in order for packets to be sent to its destination. A recursive static route requires 2 routing table lookups. So, recursive static route is a next hop route that relies on the router in order for packets to be sent to their destination. Recursive static regards to requiring two routing table lookups. Okay, so why must a recursive static route require 2 routing table lookups? It must first look in the routing table for the destination network and then look up the exit interface / direction of the network for the next hop router. So we're going to configure a recursive static route to every network not directly connected to a router 1, including the WAN link between R2 and R3. So the wide area network between R2 and R3 is right here, I believe. So we want to come into our CLI and on R1 we're going to say enable. Oops. Alright, so we want to say enable conf, and then we want to say IP root 172.31.0.0, subnet mask 255.255.255.0, 172.31.1.1.193. So next hop. And then we have 172. We also want to add the IP route 172.31.128.255.255.255.192. One is 192. Then next hop And this is the serial connection between the two routers. Next hop address. So now, we want to do alright. Anyway, test connectivity to R2 LAN. Text connectivity to the R2 LAN and ping the IP address of PC2 and PC3. So, test connectivity to the R2 LAN and ping PC2 and PC3. Ping. And it's timing out. Also, want to ping PC3. And these pings are unsuccessful because router 1 has a route to the router 2 and router 3, but router 2 and router 3 do not have a route to router 1. How does a directly attached static route differ from a recursive static route? A directly attached static route relies on its exit interface in order for packets to be sent to its destination. A recursive static route uses the IP address of the next hop router, and that's what we just saw here. So, configure a directly attached static route from R2 to every network not directly connected. So, I want to go into router 2 now, and come into the CLI, and say enable T IP route 172.31.1.0 subnet mask 255.255.255.128, and then the serial interface serial 000. And I want to do the same thing, except I want to change over to a different host. 128, 255.255.192, serial 001. Okay. So now I want to exit, show IP route directly connected. Directly connected, directly connected, directly connected. Okay, we're good. Okay. Which command only displays the static route system in the routing table? Show IP route static. So show IP route static. When viewing the entire routing table, how can you distinguish between a directly attached static route and a directly connected network? The static route has an S and the directly connected network has a C. A default route, also known... How does the default route differ from a regular static route? A default route, also known as the default gateway of last resort, is of the network used by the router when no other route exists for a destination network. A static route is used to route traffic through a specific network. So, now we're going to hop over on R3, and we're going to say, hey R3, we want to be able to talk to R1, to PC1. So, I'm going to come in here, and I'm going to say, IP route. Okay. So we just put our default route on R3 so that any network that's not directly connected is reachable. So now, how is the routing, is static route displayed in the routing table? Show IP route static. And there it is. So explain a fully specified route. A fully specified route is a static route that is configured with an exit interface and the next hop address. Which command provides a fully specified static route from R3 and R2 LAN? R3. So I want to say that this is a fully specified static route because it includes the exit interface and the next hop address. So IP route 172.0.0.255.255.255.252 for serial S001.172.311.197. And now we want to make our fully specified route from R3 for the network between R1 and R2. So I'm going to say, do not configure the router, just calculate it. So we want to say IP route 172.31.192.255.255.255.252 S001.172.311. .31. show IP root. Show IP root static. So I come into my PC now, and I want to say, and there we have it. No more timing out for us. So every device now be able to ping every other device. So ping trace root 172.311. There we go. We have 4 hops in our trace root. Trace complete. And that is packet tracer activity 6224. 60 out of 60 completion. Thanks for watching.